The first update we have today is centered on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Jayne, providing a clear look at her recent romantic life alongside some really significant legal developments.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about Erika Jayne's new relationship with John McPhee. She revealed some details recently, describing him simply as a nice man.
Just a nice man.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe a quiet comfort she hasn't experienced in quite a while.
And what's genuinely fascinating here is the way they connected. It was completely unexpected.
How so?
Well, Erika initially saw John on 2 different podcasts and apparently found him interesting.
Okay.
Then, totally by chance, she ran into him backstage in London. She was with Heidi Montag, actually.
No kid?
Yeah, and she just went up and introduced herself as a fan.
That's not how you usually picture it. So they've been on, what, 2 dates?
2 dates, yeah.
Followed by a manicure pedicure in Koreatown?
Uh-huh.
That's where those photos came from, right? Holding hands.
Exactly. And Erika described that as a nice private moment. She even added it felt really nice to hold his hand.
Which is pretty noteworthy. I mean, she hasn't been publicly seen with anyone in 5 years.
5 years is a long time.
Right. And John doesn't even live in the area, which just adds another interesting layer to their connection. But beneath this sort of burgeoning romance, there's a far more challenging chapter unfolding for her.
A big one.
She's preparing for an absolutely seismic jury trial. We're talking a $25 million lawsuit filed by her estranged husband, Thomas Girardi's bankruptcy trustee.
Right. And this isn't just, another legal hurdle. It feels monumental.
It really does. And this raises extremely important questions about the financial implications at stake. Massive ones.
To clarify for everyone listening, the bankruptcy trustee's job is basically to recover assets for the victims and creditors of Girardi's old firm.
Right, the people who lost money.
Exactly. And attorney Ronald Richards, he's been quite vocal on social media. He explicitly stated this trial represents Erika's greatest exposure in a loss.
Greatest exposure.
Yeah, he means if she loses, this isn't just another bill. It could be the single most devastating financial blow she faces, potentially wiping out her fortune. Given the claim she benefited from funds allegedly diverted from victims.
He even used the term Judgment Day on a document caption, didn't he?
He did. And the timeline clarifies the seriousness, too. The pretrial conference is set for January 21st, 2026.
Okay, so still a little ways off, but...
But the jury trial itself starts just weeks later, February 10th, 2026.
Next, we are going to talk about some surprising admissions from the Valley. Specifically, starting with a bit of a mystery from season 2, really.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving into what Danny Booko finally admitted about that, infamous pantry incident.
Right, the one Janet Caperna brought up, multiple times.
Exactly. More than once is putting it mildly. Everyone was asking, why was he sneaking drinks in the pantry? Felt a bit odd.
Well, the key insight, I think, came at the reunion. Danny's direct admission to Andy Cohen.
Okay, what did he say?
It wasn't just about, hiding it from friends or Nia. He specifically said he was trying to hide his drinking, mainly from the cameras.
Oh, interesting. So cameras specifically.
Yeah. And he mentioned knowing Jax Taylor had already talked about his drinking, so Danny wanted to avoid that comparison. It clarifies a big motivation there. It wasn't just personal, it was strategic. Managing that public image.
That makes a lot more sense in the reality TV context. It wasn't just about the drinking itself, maybe, but how it looked.
Exactly. Performative.
And Nia Sanchez, his wife, she weighed in too. She was pretty candid, actually.
What did she say?
She admitted, there's definitely times where I'm not happy with the way that he is when he drinks, which is quite honest.
Yeah.
But she balanced it, said he can be hilarious, funny, or sometimes, yes, annoying. But, she loves him, knows his character.
Right.
And crucially, she added that with the kids now, he's not going out drinking and getting drunk.
Mm-hmm. So context matters.
Definitely.
And we saw Jason Caperna challenge Danny on it, too. Said Danny tried to blame Janet instead of taking accountability.
Right. Jason called him out. And Nia's response to Jason was interesting, too. Very calm, very direct.
What was her take?
She basically said she felt Janet continually perpetuated this conversation when the people involved were done with it.
So dragging it out.
Yeah. Nia questioned the place that it's coming from. Even if Janet claimed that girl's dinner, it was just concerned about, maybe an alcohol issue.
Concern versus meddling. It's a fine line.
It really is.
Next update we have about Lindsay Hubbard. She's been talking about co-parenting and throwing a little shade towards Carl Radke.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, she was on Kristen Doty and Luke Broderick's podcast, and she opened up about her daughter, Gemma, specifically why she doesn't post Gemma's face on social media.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed that. What's the reason?
Lindsay described him as very private, whereas she has, in her words, the DNA to share and be open. Polar opposites, really.
So a fundamental difference in approach.
Exactly. She said point blank, I can't post her on social media, and she has to do it old school, sharing photos privately, presumably.
And she explained her thinking behind it, her strategy. I found it quite interesting.
And how does she frame it?
She put it simply, Dad's private, Mom's public. What does that make, baby? And she said she chose not to fight him on it.
Smart.
Yeah, prioritizing Gemma's relationship with her dad, who she called a phenomenal father. She stressed they're really good friends, great co-parents, and want Gemma unaffected. That feels like a big compromise for Lindsay.
Oh, absolutely. It depicts the kind of sacrifices public figures sometimes have to make for family stability. It shows a co-parenting relationship that's working despite huge lifestyle differences. It's calculated, really putting the kid first.
Definitely seems that way. Okay, so shifting gears slightly, but still Lindsay. She also talked about Carl Radke suggesting they could be friends now.
Ooh, how did that go down?
Not well. She basically said he needs to make amends for things he did in the past.
Like what specifically?
Like villainizing her, she said, and never apologizing for the breakup, which she called humiliating and traumatic.
Wow. Strong words.
She emphasized he never sat her down face to face for a real apology. Instead, she said, he publicly humiliated me on purpose on national television. Her words were basically like he dumped her at the altar just 2 months out from the wedding.
Oof. Yeah, that public element just adds layers of hurt, I imagine. Makes friendship seem like a very distant possibility right now.
Next update we have about an unexpected plot twist, maybe. Denise Richards, she's coming back to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for season 15.
Seriously. Wow. Especially now, right? With her divorce being so public and messy.
Exactly. Right in the middle of this very messy divorce.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like a strategic move back into the spotlight.
Well, it became clear because she was actually photographed filming out in LA at a restaurant called Madre with Erika Jayne and Sutton Strack.
Okay, so cameras were definitely rolling.
Oh, yeah. And this is notable because her own show, Denise and Her Wild Things, wasn't picked up for season 2. So, returning to RHOBH amidst all this personal drama, it demonstrates a pretty calculated move.
Using the platform, maybe?
Could be. Re-own the story, address things on her terms, maybe get some public sympathy. It's a classic reality TV tactic, though a risky one.
And the backdrop is incredibly intense. This divorce from Aaron Vipers. It's not just a split.
No, not at all.
Denise filed, accused him of abuse, even got a restraining order after sharing photos of injuries, including a black eye. It's heavy stuff to bring back to the show.
It really is. And it vividly demonstrates how these deep personal legal fights get tangled up with the show's narrative. The courtroom basically becomes another set.
Yeah.
And think about her latest court request, asking Aaron to return her laptop and stop leaking images or info from it.
Right, because he was accusing her of an affair with someone from Special Forces.
Exactly. Rudy Reyes. Aaron apparently used photos and messages from her laptop to back that up. This whole situation just exposes how privacy can be weaponized in these high-profile splits. It's extreme.
Next update we have about the Real Housewives of Orange County. There's a report about the feud between Shannon Beador and Alexis Bellino from season 18.
Ah, yes, that was quite something. What's the latest?
Well, this involves some alleged behind-the-scenes power plays that apparently affected casting for season 19.
So what really stands out is this insider claim that Shannon Beador essentially gave producers an ultimatum.
An ultimatum? Like what?
The source suggested she said she would absolutely not return if Alexis came back.
Whoa, so her or me?
Pretty much. And the claim links Alexis not being back for season 19 directly to that alleged demand from Shannon. It really exposes those raw power struggles behind the scenes.
And the feud itself was intense, stemming from Alexis dating Shannon's ex, John Jansen.
Right, and that whole $75,000 facelift lawsuit he filed against Alexis, it was messy. This just shows how much influence established stars might wield, potentially turning personal beef into career blocks for others.
And the report gets even more pointed. It suggests Shannon might have used the whole Alexis situation as an excuse for bad treatment of the crew.
Ouch. Really?
Yeah. And what's striking is the claim that Shannon's behavior reportedly has not changed, even after Alexis wasn't asked back.
So if that's true, it wasn't really about Alexis then.
That's the implication. It raises questions about accountability, especially if someone feels they have that kind of leverage.
It certainly raises an important question about personal accountability on set, particularly with those alleged power dynamics. If an ultimatum is accepted, it kind of sets a precedent, doesn't it? It sheds light on those complex, often unspoken rules about who stays, who goes in reality TV.
Next update we have about something a bit more positive. A legal win for Mauricio Umansky from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, good. He's had a rough patch lately, hasn't he? With the separation from Kyle Richards, the skiing accident.
Exactly. So this is a significant victory for him. A federal judge dismissed a lawsuit against him.
What was the lawsuit about? It clarifies that the suit was against Mauricio, his business partner Williams Rose, and the agency. The allegation was that they fraudulently got $3.4 million in PPP loans.
Oh, the payroll protection program loans from the pandemic. That's serious.
Very serious. So getting this dismissed is a major win, especially with the kind of financial scrutiny these stars face.
So why was it dismissed? What did the judge say?
Basically, the judge found no evidence that any false information was actually presented to get the loans. The agency's lawyers argued pretty effectively that the group bringing the suit, Realtor LLC, had no firsthand knowledge and were just making conclusory statements. They called it speculation and absurd assertion.
Sounds like the judge agreed.
Pretty much. It really underscores the importance of, due process and having actual proof, not just accusations.
Right.
And if we look at the bigger picture, this dismissal isn't just legal. It's a statement against what Mauricio's lawyer called that speculation and absurd assertion. It highlights how quickly damaging claims can spread about public figures.
And the agency put out a statement too, right?
They did, mentioning their commitment to integrity and transparency and their intent to protect our reputation. It really encapsulates that ongoing battle for public image that goes way beyond the TV screen.
Next update we have about Tamra Judge, also from the Real Housewives of Orange County. She's given some pretty candid updates on relationships and how she feels she's treated compared to others.
Well, what's interesting is how brief and direct her answers were about certain people. Ask if she talks to her ex-husband, Simon Barney. Just no TE. Short and sweet.
Exactly. And about Vicki Gunvalson, her take was basically that Vicki decided to hate me after almost 20 years of friendship. Ouch.
Yeah, that's blunt.
And when asked about possibly becoming friends again with Shannon Beador, she just said, keep watching. Classic Tamra tease. It really brings to life those ongoing, complicated dynamics.
Definitely. She also talked about feeling held to a different standard than the other women on the show.
How so? In what way?
She mentioned it comes up when people confront her about her healing journey, or like when Gretchen Rossi and Katie Janela tried blaming her for Katie recording Shannon.
The recording incident,
Hey,
right.
Big.
Tamra's point was pretty clear. Taking accountability for what you did works. A strong statement on responsibility. And she also mentioned a mutual feeling about Kim Zolciak, which kind of hints at those broader reality TV alliances and maybe dislikes.
It really exemplifies that constant pressure, doesn't it? And the perceived double standards. Longtime stars like her face. Everything they do gets dissected.
Yeah.
Her pushing back on accountability is telling, though. Maybe suggesting a shift in how some stars handle their public image now, not just accepting being the villain.
Next update we have about Vanderpump Rules alum Scheana Shay. She's been clarifying why she revealed some really personal stuff in her new memoir, My Good Side.
Well, this illustrates her hitting back directly at accusations. People were suggesting she used Brock Davies' affair just to sell the book, or maybe to land a full-time spot on the Valley.
Ooh, okay. So using drama for a gain, basically.
That was the accusation. But Scheana firmly denied it, said, I would never sell my family out to sell an actual book. She insisted, I'm telling my truth because it's my story.
So setting boundaries, owning her narrative.
Exactly. It clearly depicts her intention to control her own story, regardless of how people might perceive it or what motivations they might assume.
And what about her reaction to Jax Taylor leaving the Valley? I heard she commented on that too.
Yeah, and it was actually quite insightful, maybe even surprising. She called it a smart decision and a healthy decision for him.
Really? Supportive.
Very. She expressed hope he'd focus on his mental health and his sobriety, especially for his son, Cruz, and for Brittany Cartwright. Given their history, it felt like a mature take.
That is interesting. Kind of a different perspective.
It raises an important question, about the boundaries and motivations when you share super personal stuff publicly, especially when your career is tied to it.
True.
And it also depicts this nuanced view on a former co-star stepping back. It highlights the personal toll reality TV can take and maybe a growing focus on well-being, even in that intense world.
Wow. Okay, so we've unpacked quite a range of stories today. Everything from secret pantry drinking admissions to public legal battles and casting ultimatums.
Yeah, stepping back, it's really clear, isn't it? The lives of these reality stars are such a complex mix. There are curated narratives, sure, but also real moments, and this constant juggling act between public and private.
Performers, business people, real people all rolled into one.
Exactly.
So what does all this mean for you? Listening, it kind of makes you think about our own lives, right? How much do we choose to share? Those lines of privacy seem to be blurring faster all the time.
It's true. And maybe a final thought to consider. In a world where personal struggles often become public entertainment, what's our role as the audience? What responsibility do we have in the narratives that play out? And how much does our engagement, our clicks, our comments actually influence the truth that the stars feel they need to reveal? Maybe we're more involved in shaping their stories than we realize.